Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Take a seat. Looking at the goods over there. Oh,
hey, we sell everything over here. We sell it all. Top to bottom.
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's a sports show. Got me in my hormones, all gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3.
I'm doing good, partner. I'm doing good because we're recording the sports show at Sports Show Podcast. That's the Instagram. Please subscribe to the Instagram. We're trying to build it back up. We told you this thing of ours got hacked a while ago. Not only that, Sports Show TV on the YouTube. More importantly, CJSW 90.9 FM, now playing on the third Tuesday of every month. That's right. We're changing the time. It's the third Tuesday on 90.9 FM, local Calgary radio, CJSW, CJSW.com, also Podbean, Spotify, and iTunes. But please like and subscribe to the channels. It helps us a lot.
Yeah. What a crazy, crazy week. And you know what? I like to think we're good friends. You know, we're going to start off on a little banter here at the sports show. Dimitri and I, you know, we have this great friend of ours.
Great.
Amy, the good Amy, that gives us, helps us actually edit and do all the great things that you see on the social medias. And we got some information yesterday.
Let's just not say great. Amy's the love of our lives.
I didn't want to say it out loud.
Listen, when it comes to the sports show,
right,
we love the Amy.
That's right.
We need the Amy.
Love her.
She's the good Amy.
She's the good Amy.
You know, there's a lot of Amy's out there. They're not all great.
No.
Ask this guy.
Exactly. They're not the greatest.
Mitch, what happened, buddy?
You know, listen, she lives out in Ontario, in the Toronto, the GTA, if you're the capital of the world.
Right.
And, you know, we're talking with her, and she says, hey, I'm going on a trip. We're like, hey, where are you going? I thought she said Maui. Turns out she's going to Miami. I don't know how I got
Miami.
And one of the reasons, it's a breakup party.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's just say Amy got drafted to the NBA and she's leading in rebounds. You know what I mean?
She's bottom line. She's gonna go and you know, take a look and see what's on the menu. You know, she recently broke up. And you know what? If I could give you any advice, Amy, yesterday we're all joking, you, me, and Dimitri on the messenger. Long and the short of it is this: have fun. Enjoy. Life is short.
Yes.
Have a good time in Miami. We want details.
We want the deets.
That's all we want.
All we want is the deets. That's it. We need this. We're in our 40s and we're married men and we got nothing else going on. That's why we podcast. No, I'm kidding.
You're lucky that this is the half an hour show on CGSW today, or we would go right into relationship talk, even though there's a sports talk.
We will, because we will. I want to talk to you. Hey, who's this guy over here?
Who is that guy?
What are you doing? How do you let a girl like Amy go? How do you let her go?
His loss.
Are you kidding?
His loss.
It's like catching the prize and then saying, I'll be back. I'm busy right now. This guy's regret. I mean, crazy.
I know that our show takes a pretty big, it goes down to the USA. I know that for a fact. We got our Ohio contingent.
That's right.
Down to all the way to Texas. In fact, I've seen stats where they're all the way to Germany. So, hey, we got a beautiful Amy. And if you guys want, hey, throw in your text, throw in the calls over, send us, slide into our DMs, and we'll let you maybe. We have to vet you. You can slide into her DMs.
Now, Amy,
we're not sure.
Amy, we're gonna throw this thing out here, okay? Remember, I know, maybe you're liking the Greeks as of late. Let's which is great, which is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing. So, quick story, Amy. Remember, there was a girl. Remember Kiana? Remember? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Remember, she was same thing on the outs, dated a guy for a long time, and then she started dating this other. We didn't like him. Yeah. Right? And then she started dating this other guy, and we gave the 2 cents. She wanted to break up with him until we went to bat.
That's right.
Let's fast forward. Engage.
Love. Oh, might I add, every time I go on Instagram, they're in a different destination.
I'm surprised they're not on like the Walmart picture frames as like the power couple
jet setters.
Of the
looks like they're having a good time.
But we vetted.
We did. Honestly, it was us that did that.
That guy,
yes.
I'm not kidding. That guy owes us.
Big time.
Beyond big time. He's never met us. Nope. We went to bat for him. She was going to break up with him because he's short.
Because he's a little shorter than
he's shorter than her. No, that was going to be a deal breaker.
One day we should talk about that.
We should talk about that. But we only got 30 minutes. We should talk about sports.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So the NHL season has now come to an end. Here it is. Game 82 is being played tonight on the Friday. However, we got to talk about all the games that are already done, and we're heading in to maybe the greatest time of year, the first round of the NHL playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Well, come on.
What a year it's been. We've done our power play rankings. It was, if you have to kind of take a team and say who's the number one team overall, you kind of have to give it to that Boston Bruins team. Why? Well, not only were they easily the most dominant team in the entire NHL, they actually broke the record for most wins in a regular season at 65. Some will argue, well, with the new overtime rule and so on and so forth. Who knows? Doesn't matter. They're number one overall. We're going to go through. The East is set for the first round of the playoffs. The West, one game remains, but we got to kind of figure it out. We'll let you know. Here we go. Right into it.
Ooh.
Boom. It's NHL Dump and Chase. It's the Boston Bruins taking on the Florida Panthers. Matthew Tkachuk, as we all know from here in Calgary, took that team kind of on his back the last couple of minutes of the season, got them into the playoffs. But like I told you earlier, Boston, the number one seed. Dimitri, who do you like in this first round playoff matchup?
I'll tell you this. Short answer is I like Boston in this one. I'm going to take Boston. Normally, a team like a Florida that comes in that's just maybe underachieved, I always look. This is upset territory for me, right? You look at the betting odds. You say, hey, there's an opportunity here.
Right.
I just think they ran into the wrong team.
I hear you. But I'm going with the Florida Panthers.
No!
I'm doing it. I'm the master of the upset. Ladies and gentlemen, join the podcast. You'll see I'm the master of the upset. Boston, you had a great season. You love it all. You got the best players. You got the greatest team. You got Pasternak, 61 goals, I believe he has. You got the Bergeron. You got the Marchand. You got the Ullman in goal. You got everything you need. But I think you, kind of like a marathon runner, you left it all too early. I think this Florida team is, you know what? Here's the other thing, Boston. You're heading into Florida for a couple of games at least during the spring break. I'm just saying. You're only human.
Boca's looking good this time of year.
Boca's beautiful. Let's get to the game that a lot of people are looking forward to. It's like they play each other, and it's almost mandatory that they have to play each other in the first round every year. It's Toronto, who had a great season again, taking on their arch nemesis, dare I say. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
You do it to me every time. You're like the terrible little son that just gets into trouble, and every week you're coming back and you're asking dad for money. And every time before you come in, I say, honey, not this time around.
Right.
He's got to learn his lesson. He's got to go out there and get a job and smarten up. But then he comes, and my wallet opens up.
Sure it does.
And that's you, Toronto. I'm sick and tired of you doing this to me. And here you are. I don't want to pick you. I hate you. But damn it, you're at my doorstep. You're begging. You need me. And I'm giving you money again. I got the Maple Leafs finally winning a series. Nonetheless against the Lightning. I'm saying it. It's the year. It's got to be the year.
Well, for many reasons that we've talked about it on previous podcasts, it has to be the year. People's jobs are legitimately on the line.
No, don't worry, honey. The dealer's got to bust soon. I'm counting the cards.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with you. Do I want to see Toronto go to the next round? Yes. Will they? Absolutely not. Ladies and gentlemen, take Tampa Bay. Why? Because not only are they three-time champions, they're two-time Stanley Cup champions in the recent years. They're stacked. Kucherov coming third in the league in scoring quietly. Brandon Point, Stamkos, Vasilevsky. There's just too many good players. They've been there. They know it.
I know.
Toronto, it's yours to have. You got a great team too. I'm taking Tampa Bay just based on history. Too much pressure for Toronto.
What's the matter, Ace? Can't handle the pressure.
We go over to the other side, the Metro side, and it's the number 2 Carolina Hurricanes, your team, to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, taking on the New York Islanders at number 7.
I like me a little bit of Islanders.
The Islanders.
Or excuse me, Hurricanes.
Well,
I still like the Hurricanes on this one.
I want to take the Islanders.
I know
I want to, but I'm going to take the Hurricanes here as well. They are better. They are a little hurt going into the first round of the playoffs. Yeah. Islander barn, I mean, it is a different barn. It's not the old Nassau barn where these fans are nuts, the Long Island fans. This is in Brooklyn. That's why I'm not taking
Fair point.
the Islanders.
Fair point.
And now maybe the best matchup in the first round of the playoffs. It's two teams that absolutely hate each other. It's no different than the Calgary and the Edmonton. It's the New Jersey Devils at number 2 taking on the New York Rangers at number 3. This one's going to be good.
This is the series that I think is going to be the best series out of all of them. This is the one that I'm there's another one out there. But anyways, this is the one that I'm really, 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 really looking forward to see because I don't know. I just don't know. But I am going to pick the Rangers on this one, and it just comes down to goaltending. For me, that's just what I think the difference maker will be.
Not only do I follow you on this, as much as I love my Devils are probably my second favorite team in the entire NHL. But the Rangers are a couple of podcasts ago. I gave them a 5 ranking in the NHL power play list, and it's because they have everything.
Yeah,
they got the goaltending, they got the defense, they've got offensive power. They're in New York. This is the year. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and I think that you're absolutely right. I'm going to say one other thing. I was talking to old cousin Jim yesterday, and he brought up a great stat going back to the Florida thing. I want to bring this up. Last year's President's Trophy winning team, the Florida Panthers, lose. Number 1 team. They get bumped by Tampa Bay, actually. The following year, there's a stat out there. I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere. But I trust old cousin Jim, and he told me that the following year, that team that won the President's Trophy usually goes on to sometimes win the Stanley Cup or get far into the playoffs. That is why I took the Florida Panthers to knock out the number 1 team maybe of all time.
Ooh.
Great debate. Who's a better team? This year's Boston Bruins or the 95 Detroit Red Wings?
This year's Boston Bruins for me.
Boom. I also agree. Listen,
I understand the overtime wins. I get that whole argument and the pound for pound straight up win that you have to do. But you also got to understand that there has never been a time when more teams are better pound for pound in the entire league as well. So the difference between the 95 Red Wings and the 2023 Boston Bruins is that in the NHL right now, there's about 20 solid teams. That's why the races for the playoffs are so tight. I mean, a good 20 solid teams in the NHL, where in the NHL of previous, it was maybe 8. Okay, so that's the difference.
Agreed.
Harder to get the wins.
Couldn't agree more. I absolutely do agree with you. I think 65 versus 62 wins, still amazing accomplishments by both, but to my compadre over there, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
The talent is much more vast now. So we head over to the West. Now, the West has one more game being played. This podcast is being done on a Friday, so there could be a slight tingle, but don't worry, we're here to help. At number 1, that has been solidified. It's the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Man, my picks this year were horrible.
Yeah.
I thought the Golden Knights were going to have a bad year. I thought the Flames and the Penguins were both going to be in the Stanley Cup Finals. Nothing. My 3 major picks of the year, all disasters.
Never pick the home team or my team ever again.
I
never want to hear them come out of your mouth.
The Flames thing is not my fault. The
You're
Flames
mush.
thing is not my fault.
You're mush.
It's not my fault, the Flames thing. We'll talk about it more. You've heard it through the times. I'm a little upset with the Flames right now. At number 1, it's the Las Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Winnipeg Jets, finally getting in. This team was leading at one time, Dimitri, the Central Division. Now at number 8, who do you like here?
I like the Golden Knights on this one. I think they're just that much better and a little more consistent.
I want to take Winnipeg here. I really do.
I want to take Winnipeg too, but Hellebuck I just don't think is playing as consistent as he normally is to steal games.
I couldn't agree more. And that's really the only reason. But the thing is, this is what scares me slightly. Winnipeg's been playing playoff hockey literally for like maybe 3 to 4 weeks now.
I could respect that, yeah.
And that's where I'm like, are they just mentally there? But the thing is, they never really put the clamp down. They had Calgary lose games, they had Nashville lose games, and they also won some games, and they trickled in.
Right.
I like how they're playing right now. I think this will go 7, though. I'm going to take Vegas as well, but I think it's going to be tougher than we all think.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, here's where here's the other matchup that I'm absolutely in love with. Last year, I told you, Tampa Bay and Toronto played each other. Well, Edmonton and the LA Kings said, hey, we can do that too, and that's what's happening. At number 2, it's the Edmonton Oilers. This team poised and ready to go, taking on the LA Kings. This could be a new matchup that we're poised to see each and every year. Thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. I like how it's becoming a rivalry. I do have Edmonton winning this one. I mean, clearly they're a hot team, but they're playing very, very well as a team. This is the scary thing. However, they still got their work cut out for them because the Kings, if there's one thing that they are, they're tough. They're a beefed up Winnipeg type team.
Yeah.
This is what's happening over there. So I don't think they're going to take it for granted, but I do think that in a rematch like this, it works for Edmonton's favor, knowing what they're... Last year, they didn't really... I think they got sucker punched in the first round.
Yeah.
Had to play catch up a little bit before they figured it out. Now they're a little more, okay. That's what I got.
For me, I'm going to tell you right now, I kind of want to take the Kings. And here's why. Last year, they take them to 7. They're a sneaky good team. No one gives them any love. There aren't a lot of good players on, meaning names that we're accustomed to each and every day.
Sure.
We're all hoping that the McDavid and the Draisaitl do what they need to do, because when they do what they want to do, there's no chance of touching this team. Mm-hmm. I'm taking the Kings. Because here's the thing. I think the Kings are now ready. If they weren't playing each other in the first round of the playoffs, I'd say Edmonton will roll over anybody. But right now, the Kings have seen these guys all year. They played them first round of the playoffs last year. They took them to Game 7 last year. I think they know what they're up against, and that's why I think they game plan. I think they've known that this was probably going to be the first-round matchup for a while, and I literally think that's all they've been thinking about for the last month.
Fair point.
Here's where the problem lies in the West, as I alluded to earlier. The 2 seed right now would be Dallas, but Dallas is waiting for the Avalanche to play tonight. If the Avalanche win, they take the number 2 seed. The Wild are in and the Kraken are in. It's just a matter of moving these 2 teams around. So here are the scenarios. The Stars take on the Kraken. If they had to play each other, who do you like in that?
In this case, I like the Stars.
Same with me. If the Stars have to play the Wild, if they end up being the number 2 seed, who do you like in that one?
Ooh.
That is a good one.
I'm going to tell you, when the meat's expired, it's spoiled. Spoiler alert, I take the Wild on that one.
You know what? I still like the Stars here. This team is good. I think the Stars are, again, also a little underrated. Okay, let's say the Avs win tonight. They become the number 1 seed. They take on the Kraken. Who do you like there? Defending champions.
I'm just gonna fast track this. A, for the sake of time. B, I'm just gonna cut to the chase.
Right.
I'm gonna say one thing right now. A Kraken may be a little bit of an underwater animal that hides in a cave.
Right.
And if you awaken it,
who knows?
Wow. Well, the Kraken might as well be from Colorado as well. West, watch out.
Yes.
This team beats anybody. Anybody. Yeah. Listen, I understand that Landeskog is out. He's going to miss the playoffs. Doesn't matter.
Agreed.
They're so hot right now that they'll find a way to beat anybody. Watch out. I have them beating both.
I couldn't agree more. Right now, there's one name and one name only. Radnan and McKinnon. Okay, 2 names. There's 2 names. Yeah. And a third name.
Makar.
Yeah. This team's good. They got healthy at the right time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big loss for them for sure. Like it is a loss for them, but they're just playing so good right now.
Good. Well, they got to defend their championship.
It's
like somebody coming over. You got to make dinner.
You got to make dinner.
You're not going to just order McDonald's in from Uber or
it's not the worst
skip
idea.
the dish. No, it's not. But you invited them over. You're going to make something.
Okay.
All right. Last thing in the NHL, Dimitri, before we head over to the NBA, because we got a little talk about something in the NBA real quick. McDavid finishes off with 152 points, okay? Is this one of the greatest seasons you've ever seen? I mean, a lot of people are thinking Gretzky, 202, 212 points, and the Lemieux, and this and that. And this actually, believe it or not, I saw a stat the other day. This isn't like the top, believe it or not, this is top 15 of all time. So you're like, well, Mitch, it's not that big of a deal. But it is. 152 points in today's NHL is a big deal. 64 goals, 88 assists. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor McDavid tore it up this year.
So I'm going to tell you why this is one of the most impressive. It is one of the most. It's not the most.
Right.
It is one of the most. Because taken into context, with his cohorts, the amount of points that has been the average for the last, dare I say, 2 decades of the NHL.
Right.
But let's just go the last 10 years, where because of rule changes, and the last decade has really been for all intents purposes, how the game has been played, right, with the rule changes. Okay. He's not only beating everyone else, he's beyond beating everyone else. And then what do great players do? They make other players around them play better. This, to me, is the other side. If you look at Kucherov in the same age and prime and type of team, never achieved points like this in Tampa Bay.
True that.
So when you're looking at the Draisaitl, the Kucherov, the Pasternak, everyone in the league's kind of taken notice, and whether they like it or not, it's because of Connor McDavid. He's making everyone better. Okay? He's set the bar higher. Just like Ovechkin, when he came in the league, said, hey, yeah, you can score over 60 goals in today's NHL. No problem. Right? Like, that's the brilliance of this season.
I couldn't agree more. Listen, from a individual point of view, there is no debate. Best player in the NHL by far and by a mile.
No, yeah.
Now we head into the real meat and potatoes.
Ooh.
Can you take your team to the Stanley Cup? And when you get there, can you win it? Look, all I'm going to say is one thing. People that listen to this podcast religiously and every time, 255 shows in, I'll tell you this right now, CJSW people. I've been calling it out for a while. If you don't win it this year, that's all I'm going to say. I think people know where I stand.
He can take the team. The team finally, for the first time, I think, is everyone's pulled it together.
Right.
Because now I agree with you. It's not the trade to get better for Edmonton. I'm on the standpoint of if you're just going to do all the work by yourself and no one is going to come and help you, leave where they will.
Well, here's my
other... Do the LeBron thing.
I agree with you, Dimitri, but here's the thing. He's got a great team around him. Like, you know what? You got to give Holland a great amount of respect here.
For sure.
He brought in a lot of pieces. Draisaitl, second overall in scoring, 27 points behind McDavid. But at the end of the day, and Nuge had 100 points this year. Like, this team was stacked this year. They did everything great. But if you can't win with this team, then what are you doing? You can't just sit there and be like, okay, next year. For sure next year. No, you got to kind of look at it and say, what can you still get for this amazing premier player?
Yeah. No,
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Hey, they're playing them in the Kings. Okay. Look, we got to roll.
Yeah, we got to jump over to the NBA. Hey,
NBA,
why again so mad?
Listen, I'll tell you why I'm getting so mad. This stupid play-in stuff in the NBA is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen and I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, you finished 7th, 8th. Oh, but what about you, 9 and 10? Let's give you a chance. And if you lose your first one, then you might come in after. It's like I'm watching SO Minor Hockey Week where column A plays column B, but they lose and go here. NBA, what's next?
Exactly.
If you finish last in the league, you get 19 playoff play-in chances to come get it. Look, you're not the NHL, where the NHL is structured with a wild card. Same with Major League Baseball, in the sense that you get a wild card to make sure you have the top best teams in it. You're a league that's structured with 2 conferences. Top 8, that's it. What are we doing here? It's annoying. It's a joke. It's stupid. Hey, no one else should be playing in. Why are we playing NBA right now to see who can go in because they lost but didn't win, but kind of what's next? The 15th place ribbon because you're not the worst, but hey, at least you tried? Holy smoke, what is this? The NWA, the National Woke Association. What are we doing, Mitch?
I don't know,
I
man.
hate it.
Well, what's the use of 82-game season? Like, it's so silly to me because these teams now have played 1 extra game, so make it 83, and now they're going into a 7-game series.
Oh,
so
buddy.
You really kind of put those teams behind the 8 ball.
Stupid.
Bottom line, that's the whole beauty of having the wild card or the 7 and 8 challenging. 9-10, sorry, you didn't make it. No, not sorry. You didn't make it. You didn't play good enough. Done. End of the conversation.
What are we doing, man? Buddy, it's you know, of course I'm being theatrical in this and that, but at the same time, it still bothers me the same way. Like, why are we doing this to the leagues? Why are we just?
I'll show you.
It's
why.
Listen, money. Yeah,
That's all
I
it's
get
about.
that it's
Right here.
money.
Look at this.
But I don't even like it.
It's not Johnny Manziel. It's this.
I don't know. It's not pragmatic. It's dumb. I just don't understand why teams like the Lakers have to do a play-in when you've made it into the playoff spot.
I agree.
That's why you play the season.
Yes, agreed.
Like, that's all there is to it.
What's
Like,
the use of it? Yeah,
here
exactly.
it is. You did your 82. Where did you stand at the end of it?
Yeah.
You know, because the problem that I have is those teams, it's not fair to the rest of the league.
Yeah.
They get an 84-game season.
Well, here's another point. What if a team in the East and the West, like, what if there was, I didn't get to look very directly, but what if your 8th seed in the East was better than your 9th seed in the West? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you really want to give everyone a chance, then make it, this top 16 make it from either side and end the conversation.
End it.
Done. Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
it.
I agree.
Here's the pre to the rapid banter. It's the NBA's into their playoff mode. Here we go. Dimitri, fast.
'Kay.
Milwaukee taking on the Heat or the Bulls. We'll find out tonight. It doesn't matter.
Milwaukee.
Boston taking on the Hawks.
Boston.
Philly taking on Brooklyn Nets.
Philly.
And this one's actually good. Cleveland taking on the Knicks.
Knicks.
Woo! We head over to the West. It's the Denver Nuggets taking on Minnesota or Oklahoma.
Doesn't matter, Denver.
The Grizzlies taking on the Lakers.
I hate to say it. I got Grizzlies.
Kings taking on the Warriors.
Great matchup. Maybe the best matchup of the entire thing. But give me Sacramento.
I like Sacramento there too. Phoenix at the LA Clippers.
Phoenix.
Boom, boom, and boom. There it is. There's your NBA rapid banter. But now we go into everyone's favorite segment. It's actually rapid banter.
Okay.
Jonathan Toews told the NHL world that he will not be back with the Blackhawks next year, likely to retire. Hall of Famer or offside?
Hall of Famer.
Great debate. Steve Stamkos or Jonathan Toews, who is a better captain?
Ooh, you got it. Wow. But I think I got to go with the Taves.
With the debacle of the Flames this year, who is more likely to be fired, Brad Treliving or Daryl Sutter?
Daryl Sutter.
I'm thinking Harvey the Hound. It's official. August 5th, Nate Diaz is taking on Jake Paul. Excited or, nah, that's just the weed, man.
I am actually real excited. Diaz going to be a good fight.
That is going to be fun. You know me. You know I'm a peruser. So I was flipping through some stuff, and I noticed that Justin Bieber challenged Tom Cruise to a fight during the COVID debacle and all that fun stuff. Who do you got in that?
The Biebs.
I think, really?
Yeah.
I think Tom Cruise would
You know
murder
what?
him,
Speed.
All right. The NBA center with the Minnesota Timberwolves was caught taking a punch at his teammate. Have you ever wanted to attack a teammate? I actually did. I'm looking down.
I'm looking at you, Mitch.
That's hilarious. All right, last one. Jonathan Huberdeau last year, 115 points. This year with Calgary, 55. 60-point differential. What happened?
When you play with good teams, you get good points. End of story.
I'll tell you what it is. Too cold. You come from Florida to Calgary? It's damn too cold. All right, here we go.
Okay.
We're off to pass or fail.
We got to go.
Here at CJSW.
We got a minute and a half.
Here we go. We
Okay.
told you at the beginning. Our favorite Amy, unfortunately, is, fortunately, unfortunately, broke up, but now she's on the mend. She's a beautiful Jewish girl. And you know what? We say to you, hey, you know what? Why not? Fictional and non-fictional Jewish men, we're trying to hook you up.
Oh,
we
I
wanna
like
make,
this.
We want
Okay.
to make Iris happy.
Yeah,
Here we
want
go.
to make Mama Iris happy. You bet.
Jerry Seinfeld. Pass or fail?
MAGA, come on. You're going to want to get in on that estate. Pass.
Andy Sandberg.
You know what? Fail. I think he's a little too comedic for her.
Really?
I don't
I think they would laugh.
No.
I think they would
Yeah,
laugh.
I think it would
they'd have
fizzle
a
out.
good time. Ben Shapiro.
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
You know what? I think
Yeah,
he'd be
I think-
just a great conversationalist.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think
Sit
it's just
down,
good
have a little
value.
chat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Julian Edelman recently retired from the NFL.
You know what? I'm going to go pass. I would say while he was playing sports, I'd say maybe stay away, but he's a little more serious now, ready to settle.
Good-looking man.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, pass there. A couple more. How about Seth Rogen, Canadian?
I'm going to go fail.
Why?
It doesn't match.
Really?
You know what? It'll be a fun time for the first bit.
Yeah.
But I don't see it.
You know what? I could see what you mean there. All right. Everyone's favorite, or at least growing up in that era, if you're a Harry Potter fan, Daniel Radcliffe.
Guy's kind of turned into a little handsome man, hasn't he?
You know what?
I'm going to go pass.
I like his demeanor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Pass. Last one. Here it is. No, second last one. Woody Allen.
A little too old, Finn.
But he likes the younger ladies.
I know, but it's not.
It's a fail.
It's a fail. It's a fail.
Last one. He's making his comeback. This guy in the 80s. Now, granted, you probably weren't born then, but he's back. It's Corey Feldman.
Fail.
What?
Have you seen his music?
That's the whole reason.
Oh my goodness. Listen, we got to get going. We got to do the sign off. I'm sorry we got to cut it short. Thank you for everyone for listening to the Sports Show. CJSW 90.9 FM, Podbean, Spotify, Sports Show Podcast. Listen, episode 255. One for the books. We got to shove it in the locker, but we got to hit the showers. I got to find a way to cut in this music. Boom, boom, boom. Third Tuesday every month.
Sit around and grab a drink, we talking what you wanted. It's mostly you don't know me when it drop, then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.
Sports Show playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.